All right, I wanted to do a review on this mower. I got this demo for a week, and I was interested in getting a demo because I've been seeing a lot of positive feedback from these things. So I contacted Grasshopper, and they set me up. And I had this demo for about a week and 3 days. And this option right here, it has the 26 horsepower Vanguard and the 61-inch deck. I wanted the 61-inch deck to try specifically to see how well it would match with my other 60-inch cut mower, and it actually did very well. I was expecting the engine to be underpowered for the size deck, and it is slightly, but I've heard that they're fixing to be putting a 37 horsepower Vanguard option on these things, which if I was going to buy one, I would definitely opt for the 37 horse Vanguard. Overall, I really liked the mower. The handling, the hillside stability, the comfort was phenomenal. Probably one of the best stand-ons that I have used. I like it better than my Toro Grandstand as far as comfort goes and hillside stability. One thing that I did not like about this platform here, while it's comfortable, it's very slick. If you're cutting early mornings, you're cutting on hills, you will slide all over that, and that could be dependent upon the shoes you're wearing. I know a lot of you wear Merrells like I do, and you just didn't get a lot of traction on the platform, which that could be fixed with a rubber mat. And it's at a pretty major slant back that way, and that could be adjustable. I'm not really sure. One thing that's unique about this machine that I like, that I actually didn't have to use, was the adjustable, the up and down adjustable on this entire operating manual section. And I didn't have to use it. It was comfortable where it was at, but you just loosen these screws on the side, these bolts right here, and you get I think that looks like maybe a 16 or 17 millimeter. You loosen it and tighten it, and it'll raise the whole operator platform up and down. This one had a weed eater rack with it. I did not like this weed eater rack. I use Echo equipment, and the only piece of my Echo, the only Echo weed eaters that fit on here was the 225, which is the residential model. I was having an issue with the handles on like the 2620s. They dipped. The handles dip below the shaft, and that would keep one side or the other from locking in place. And the only other way to put it on there was to put the weed eater backwards with the engine towards the front of the mower, and that put a lot of stress on the shaft. I really didn't want to do that, and so that's a negative. I don't really like this weed eater rack. I would probably go with a different aftermarket weed eater rack on this machine. Another thing I did not like about this mower, the first day I got it, I got up early in the morning and I demoed it on a large property. I put about 20 hours on this machine this week, and it was this. I was excited to try it out. This is their version of chute block, and I liked the idea, and it did work for what it's supposed to do, as far as it blocks the grass, and it does protect, keeps stuff from shooting out the side. If you don't want to throw stuff on a yard or on a house or on a driveway, it really worked well for that. The thing I did not like about it was this flap. The first property, or the first whole day, I used the machine with this on it, and I did not like it for the fact that the main issue I had with it is whenever you're running open like that, it drops the chute guard down, and I don't like that, because when you're cutting really wet grass, it has a tendency to clump majorly when that's down there. It doesn't allow for enough airflow, and so it didn't disperse your clippings out evenly. So I absolutely hated that. But when it was in the up position, it was pretty nice. Again, I would opt for maybe a grass flap or something else, just so you can keep that open all the time. Or just, you could just remove the flap, and that would probably do you well. I'm trying to think. The gas tank seemed a little bit small. This engine does take a lot of fuel to run. It's a 26 horse Vanguard. They've only got, they told me they were 5-gallon tanks, but I was putting about, they have like the max fill lines on the inside of these things. This is max fill line. I was putting about 3.7, 3.8 gallons in every time I filled it up. And even though like that John Deere right there's got a 31 horse Kawasaki on it, even though neither one of them are EFI, the Kawasaki is actually more fuel efficient than this thing is. A couple really stupid things. I need to go grab my deck pin, but the pin that you're supposed to stick through at your 1/4 inch increments, you can't actually stick the pin in through here because the fuel tank's in the way. That's really dumb. I don't know what the issue is. I mean, it's easy enough to fix. You just stick it in from the other side and you're good to go. I did not like that. It seemed to be a little bit weird, like it wasn't engineered properly. Another thing, when you're fueling up, if you don't let the deck down, you can get to this tank. It's just kind of stupid. Look at that. It's right there. It's in the way. It's not a big deal, but it's just enough to be annoying. And same thing with the brake on this side, but the brake's got a little more of a gap, so it's not really that big of a deal. Trying to think, there was something else I was thinking about this machine that was just kind of not well thought of. I'll think of it in a minute. But one thing I did like, the LEDs work very well. I actually had to use it last night for the first time to finish up the week. I had like 20 minutes left on a property, like a 7 or 8 acre property, and I was using the John Deere, but I ran out of daylight, so I hopped on this thing and finished it up. And it's got really good visibility. The LEDs are really nice, and I like that it is, from what I understand, from what the dealer was telling me, that is a given option on this mower. It's going to come with the LEDs, and whether that's true or not, I don't really know. This machine actually exceeded my expectations on cut quality. I would put it up there. In my opinion, the 7-iron deck and the Velocity Plus deck are the best cutting options in the Southeast. I think they have the best cut quality, but this mower right here, I would say, goes right behind them. If you can remove the chute block or the chute guard, and it allows the grass to fan out, this mower cuts absolutely phenomenally. It's, like I said, it really exceeded my expectations. Had a lawn care owner friend from Louisiana come up here and test it out himself, and he came across the same idea. I remember what the other thing I was going to say that I absolutely hated about this mower, and it could just be because it's a 60-inch deck, so it may be too wide, but the rear of the deck, this front side, with the way these scalping wheels are sticking out so far, which is not, I noticed, is not normal to other Grasshopper models like the sit-on versions. This side especially, you see how far the deck is from the back tire. It scalps like crazy on the rear side. I don't know what's up with that, but that's something I really hope they fix, because I wanted to test this mower for the Southeast. You know, grass types. You know, a lot of us are not cutting nice, flat, perfect yards. We're cutting yards with a lot of little divots, little hills, and if you hit a little ridge, it's going to scalp really bad, partially because of how deep the deck is, and I know that has a lot to do with the cut quality. Having a deep deck is really good. When I say deep, I mean deep this way, forward and back. But yeah, that's one thing that just non-stop aggravated me. And then the ability to be able to float this deck really sucked. I wish they had a pedal down here on the platform that you could push up and down on to be able to float the deck. And I know most stand-ons don't even have that option, but here in the Southeast, floating a deck is absolutely necessary to be able to try to get a lawn that's not scalped, because we have a lot of little hills and divots and stuff like that, especially here in Mississippi. One other thing, oh yeah, I remember what the other thing was, and this could be adjustable, but I'm not sure. But like the deck height system is extremely inaccurate. So, you know, the John Deere has the dial set up. A lot of people have the pin set up, but a lot of pin setups are set up accurately. 4 inches is not 4 inches. 4 inches is closer to 3 inches, or the setting 4 is closer to 3 inches. This is transport mode. As you can see, there's not a lot of clearance on the bottom of the deck. And that was creating a major issue for me loading and unloading from the trailer, popping curbs, etc. It was very difficult. I was catching the bottom of the deck a lot, and I really disliked that. It's just, it seems to me like it would be something that would be adjustable to where you can actually raise the transport mode a little bit. It was creating a lot of problems, and that was something I disliked about it that I hope they can do something with. Because my John Deere set up to where, I know I'm doing a lot of comparisons here, they're not even remotely close to the same mower. It's kind of comparing apples to oranges, but I've got my John Deere set up accurately as far as inch increments on the deck. And if I'd be cutting it at 3 inches on the John Deere, I would have to have this set at 4 1/4. And that could be something that's completely adjustable. I don't really know. I haven't looked into it much. I didn't want to fool with the mower a whole lot just because it's not mine and it was a demo. But yeah, that was something that I had a major issue with. But overall, my opinion on this mower, I really like it. I already said it, but it was really good on hillside traction. I've been hearing a lot of things. I was looking between this model and the Skag V-Ride, and this one seems to be a lot better on hills than the Skag does. And it is a pretty wide mower. It's almost as wide as my John Deere. It's slightly better on the hills than my John Deere is. And I know John Deere's not the best on hills, but I would say it's probably top 5 out of all the mowers I have demoed in the past. It is pretty good on hillside stability. But this one's even a little bit better. It's just the negative with the hill, cutting on a hill, you've got that really wide deck and it just gouges once you get towards the bottom of the hill. So I was floating the deck. You can float the deck by just pushing the pin down and just letting it ride, but you'll end up having to have elbow surgery because it's a pretty heavy deck. I wish more companies would kind of go the route with that Cub Cadet went. That the Cub Cadet decks are super easy to lift and float, and I love that about those mowers, and I wish these other mowers would either take that approach or put some kind of a float pedal on the stand platform. But I don't even know if that's an option. I'm not an engineer, so that's just an operator point of view. But overall, I think that's my whole review on this mower. You can get in one of these for under $13,000, or around $13,000 for a 54 inch. And I will say, for the money, it quite possibly will be one of your best options. As far as longevity on the Vanguard, can't speak a whole lot about that, but I know a lot of guys who have them up here, who love them, who get thousands of hours out of them. I'm more of a Kawasaki guy, but I don't really have any complaints about this, besides the fuel consumption. Very strong engine, I like it. But yeah, overall, for the price, I really don't think it's going to be really hard to beat at that price point. But that's my review. Hope it helps somebody. And this is mainly for southeastern grasses. Can't speak for any of the cold season grasses up north. This is mainly just my opinion for down here.